Hello guys, today we're butchering chickens.
That's right. We are butchering chickens. It is rainy, not super cold, but this was the date we marked on the calendar to butcher chickens. And that was a non-negotiable, I think, because we booked our weekends pretty full just to get all kinds of farm stuff done here before the frost and before winter. And these chickens need to be butchered before it gets super cold because we butcher outside, obviously. And butchering 50 chickens.
48.
Okay, 2 died. We did really well, didn't we, girls?
Yeah.
We kept 48 chickens alive. Let me tell you what, guys. Every night I woke up thinking I heard chickens squawking because years past we have raised chickens. We've raised chickens for about 13 years. And there have been quite a few years where we are 1 week out to butcher and a fox comes in and destroys the whole flock, or a raccoon, and it's devastating. And then there's years we took off because of that, just heartache, and we're like, do we want to do this again? This year we said we're going to do it with food shortages and the way that we need to feed our family. These girls are growing and they are healthy girls. We picked up these chicks August 21st, I believe.
22nd, 23rd.
20, around there. And we pushed back our grow time to grow these chicks due to some vacations. Yes, we have people that help us, you know, watch the farm when we go away, but it is quite, it is quite a lot to get everything ready to leave for the weekend or even a week. So we decided that's one less thing that our farm helpers had to do, or for my parents to bring the girls back to the farm if they were watching them, if we, you know, Brooke and I went away for the week. So it's one less thing that they have to do, is to manage the meat birds and to move the pens. We went with Freedom Ranger Hatchery. So when we started raising meat birds, we raised Cornish Cross, and then we tried Freedom Rangers. Cornish Cross grow faster. They give you a lot more meat, which is awesome for feeding a whole family of 5 or larger. And then the Freedom Rangers, we liked how they had that natural instinct to peck and scratch, and but they grew slower, and they didn't give us as much meat. So friends of ours shared with us that Freedom Ranger now has a breed called Color Yield. Freedom Ranger Color Yield. I'll leave all the links below. If you haven't subscribed yet to our Homestead Nitty Gritty, please do so below. Like this video, subscribe. When we post, it's not super consistent, but when we post, it usually is the nitty gritty of homestead life, things that are going to add value to your homestead journey, the how-to, the behind the scenes, you know, things that we learned firsthand, mistakes we've made.
Daddy's
so
breakfast for you.
Thank you. So back to our chicken raising. Brand new chicken tractors that Brooke and the girls built. I'm going to show you what they look like.
Daddy mostly built them.
Daddy mostly built them, but you were help. Yeah, you did help. You helped. And so it's a design that he built with what we had here on the farm, and it's a really lightweight design that the girls and I can move. We can move these tractors by ourselves, and Hannah and I did that every morning. We would move the chickens onto fresh grass, give them water morning, afternoon, and night. There's some modifications that we do want to make on it, but for the most part they worked. They kept our chickens alive, predator free, happy birds, healthy birds, and we are absolutely loving the Color Yield. I'll leave all those links below if I didn't share that before. Freedom Ranger Color Yield. So let me show you our setup that we have. We thought we have upgraded since the first time we've butchered chickens.
Yes.
We have upgraded, but then we watched Justin Rhodes last night on Abundance Plus, and we're like, wow, his setup is posh and clean. This is our version of chicken butchering, and we feel like it's upgraded. So I want you to know, as a homesteader, use what you have, do what you can, do what feels right to you. We do not use cones to butcher, though I was really hoping to try that this year. Brooke's just not for it. So he said, just like chop the heads, dunk them in the, in the water bath, and then in the scalder. We did upgrade, and we did get a chicken plucker. Brooke made one, like one of our first years we were married, out of an old washing machine. Does he still have it? I'll have to look and show you.
He does.
We didn't take it to the scrapyard yet?
No, we did.
Okay.
And Hunter,
Did he?
our cat, had her babies in it.
Yeah. So Brooke made one because when we were first homesteading, all this stuff was super expensive. It was like thousands of dollars, $1,000, maybe $2,000 to buy an industrial chicken plucker. But now, guys, it is so easy to find these things. I just found one on Walmart.com.
No, Tractor Supply.
No, we purchased ours from Tractor Supply, but in my Facebook ads and pop-ups, Walmart has one as well. So guys, you can get these, and it's an amazing investment. So we had used our homemade one, then we went back and forth with hand plucking, which is really, really a long process, right? Yes. The chicken plucker, and I'll leave the link below to the Tractor Supply one. It's a yard bird chicken plucker, does 2 birds at one time in 30 seconds. It is one of our best homestead investments. The other thing we upgraded was to a camp chef, so that we could scald the birds and get their feathers loosened so we can put them in the plucker. So that's nice to have that propane burner down here in the, barnyard where we do our chicken butchering. Okay, this is our setup for a rainy day, and the girls made a tarp. It's just kind of dreary. It's not going to pour down rain. Yesterday was really rainy, but we have our setup. Let me share with you. I think Brooke's bringing me bucket down, but yard bird chicken plucker. It attaches to the hose. You put your hose right in here, and then this is spinning, which I'll show you. The water runs through here, and all the feathers come out at the bottom. Here we have our scalder. We have a bunch of these canning pots, and so no, I actually have 4 of them. Yeah.
Where?
I have 2 downstairs, and these have now become our chicken scalders. So we have one going. We have our gutting station, and then our finishing station where we'll bag and put them right in the refrigerator. Soap, thieves spray for all the clean, sanitary, in between hand washing and table cleaning. So the method is, they cut their heads off, soak them in a bucket of water to wet their feathers, let them drain over here on this. And then scald them. What temperature do you scald them at, babe?
Don't go above 180.
Don't go above 180.
180.
Or it's gonna take the skin off when you have it in the plucker.
Start cooking them.
Yeah, start cooking them then.
This feels good.
Because we did hear 190, didn't we?
Yeah, but
There's different schools of thought, but
I like 160
160.
and let them in a little longer. It makes their feet.
110.
It makes their, if you're saving the feet, makes the feet come off easier the longer you let them in.
220.
Your feet skin is thicker than your leg or just the regular skin. So if you do a lower temp,
That skin
you
won't
can
come
let it, you won't cook the bird, but the feet skin will get out.
And then it goes in the plucker for about 30 seconds. And then onto the table to get the feet cut off, extra feathers pulled off, and gutted.
Yeah. Can I cut off the feet, Mama?
Yep, you can try. Get it between the joints.
Right here?
So you're going to clip, let me show you.
Here?
Look where it bends. See where it bends?
Uh-huh.
You're gonna take your clippers right between that bend, right
Like
between
right
that joint.
here?
Yep. Got it. So after they're in the plucker, feet cut, Sprinkle gut it.
Come here. Please stop. You're getting your pants wet. Okay. I won't do it.
Got him.
Hey, Gracie, you took extra.
Hey, can you get your phone?
What is that?
And then we wash. The girls and I will wash it out.
I want to question if anybody knows.
I don't know. She's in there. Is this chicken good enough so I can wash it out and put it in the bag?
Yeah. We have not seen.
Gracie, I don't know. I don't know. I put her back and she probably ran out to the barn. You can put it back. Tori, she's on the glider. She's on the glider? Yeah, she's on the glider.
So this one isn't as bad. But the gallbladders have been really green. We're wondering if there's something going on there. Or we never butchered chickens with that big of a...
Gallbladder, yeah. They usually are really teeny tiny.
I'm not sure if it's a pasture thing or...
Now the music's cranking.
Thanks, Sawyer.
So we saved the heart and the liver. That goes in this bag. Heart goes in here. Feet goes in here. And then the bagging station's over here. Good job, Hannah.
Oh no!
Uh-oh, gotta double bag it.
You let me help you. I did by myself.
And then we store them in the refrigerator for 24 to 48 hours before putting them in the freezer. This will help with the meat being softer. If you put them right in the freezer, it doesn't give it time for any like that rigor mortis, I guess you could say, to work its way out of the meat, and the meat will be really tough. So in the fridge, we have a spare fridge down here in our barn just for this purpose.
Excuse me.
So it cleared up. It was supposed to be rainy today. So it's just kind of cloudy, overcast, not too cold. I'm glad we're doing this weekend because I think next weekend's supposed to be quite chilly. It'll be the first weekend in November, next weekend. The girls did fantastic today. We were 9 birds away from being finished, and they were just out of 48, and they had just had enough. And so they went up to take showers, make some lunch, and just kind of veg out. But we were super proud of them. Normally, it's been Brooke and I, mostly Brooke, butchering chickens well into the late night hours. What time, babe? 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes. So we started at 9, and I think it's about 2 o'clock, and we have just like 5 more birds to do. And so it's just him and I now getting this job done. So here's the test. What do these birds taste like, and do they give us enough meat? That's the question, right? Because I shared with you guys that we raised Cornish Cross, then we raised Freedom Ranger, straight run Freedom Ranger, and then we just tried Freedom Ranger's color yield because of some good reviews that I heard through 2 of my friends that have raised them, and we absolutely love them. Let me show you this bird. I just took it out of the oven. Oh my word, it's falling apart. It is, oh my gosh, I think we cooked probably close to 10 of them already. When I cook them, I do cook 2 at a time, so we have leftovers the next day. And then we cook down the carcass, we make some broth with that, so we can make soup. I'll freeze the broth, but this meat is so tender and juicy. And Brooke and I, we look at each other and we're like, is it really the bird? So when we went to visit Joel Salatin at Polyface Farm, he was sharing how he learned from an old-time farmer that, correct me if I'm wrong, Hannah, that when he was saying when pigs are able to move, jump
2 feet high.
When they're able to jump, they have juicier ham hocks. And so I applied that principle to these chickens because normally the Cornish Cross chickens, they kind of, when they get big and they get big quick, they just sit and they don't move much because they just sit by their feeder and they're not able to move a whole lot. And a lot of times they'll break legs too because of their body weight. They can't, their legs aren't able to hold their body weight. These birds still got big, but they were still able to move. They would fly out of the pen if you opened up the hatch.
I taught them how to roost when they were little.
Yeah, you taught them how to roost?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I feel like because they were able to move and fly and do all the bird things that, they do, that their meat was juicier. And really, guys, all I do is, let me show you, all I do is sprinkle a lot of salt on top, good sea salt, some herbes de Provence, put a few garlic cloves in there, and I roast this at 400 for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and the skin gets so crispy and crunchy. And it leaves a nice drippings that you can use if you want to make gravy or just dip the broth into. So
That's so
yeah,
good.
we all fight over the skin. Like, look at that. It's so good. So good. You gotta try these. If you are raising meat chickens, consider that for the spring. As you're planning this winter, you're planning your farm and your garden. Freedom Ranger, color yield. You can't go wrong.
So good.
So good.
Delicious.
Save some for Mama.
Oh. Wow. That's a crispy piece.
So I forgot to show you our old washing machine chicken plucker that Brooke made. Oh my gosh. Probably 10, 12 years ago. It was our first chicken plucker, and it did work really well. So I'm gonna take you up. I have my headlamp on. I'm gonna take you up to the barn and show you. I don't know why we still have it. I think because maybe Brooke was gonna fix it and continue using it. He added a motor to the washing machine. We bought all the little pluckers, and when we did the math, I think the pluckers, probably those little fingers, cost us about $200, and then all the time that Brooke put into it. But I don't know, he creates these crazy things, and it works. So, and I think it's genius. So we need to get rid of that, actually. Probably are going to take it to the scrap yard. I don't know. He has a really hard time parting with things. But now that we have our Yardbird chicken plucker, purchased that this year, I think it's time to get rid of the washing machine chicken plucker. So let me show you. And if I didn't show you this, these are our chicken tractors made of, I think it's like metal bracing, but it's real lightweight. And then this was some kind of construction material that Brooke had on hand. I think it's like landscaping netting. You can find that at like Lowe's, Home Depot, but it's cheaper than getting the metal chicken wire. And then we have that running all the way through. And then we have a tarp on top so they could take cover and refuge from the sun and rain. And then the girls and I actually moved this every morning, and it was really light. They could even move it on their own. Telling you guys, homesteaders don't get rid of anything because there's always a use to something. So here she is in her glory. Not really. She is ready to go to the junkyard. But Brooke put a motor on the side of this washing machine. And as you can see, all the fingers, he drilled holes in the sides of the wash tub. And put those fingers in. So like I said, those were probably about $200 total when we purchased them. And then he cut a hole out the bottom here. So you can see that's where the feathers would come out. But it worked. It worked for us for the longest time. But now we have a Yardbird. But it's crazy to think, you know, like I shared, that a chicken plucker 10 years ago was like between $1,000 and $2,000, and at that time getting started we didn't have the budget for that. And so what I found on Tractor Supply was a Yardbird chicken plucker. It was originally $500 for some odd reason. If I picked it, had it shipped to a specific store, not the one that's like right next to my house, it came down to like $250. It was half price. And so, heck yes, we had it shipped to just a neighboring town over to that Tractor Supply. Guys, when we're doing the math and we're like, that's what those little fingers cost to make a chicken plucker. And prices have come down considerably, and you can find homesteading supplies at your fingertips, or make them really easily if your budget doesn't allow for, you know, purchasing those homestead projects. So it is great. Homesteaders are resourceful. So hopefully this helped you in your, you know, chicken raising and butchering endeavor as you're planning and thinking, you know, this fall and winter about how many you want to raise. Do you even want to try it? I know I just lent out our chicken plucker to a friend. They raised 12 for the first time, just to get their feet wet and to see if it's going to work for them. So you don't have to raise 50 or 100 birds. You can start with just 12, right? And get comfortable with that before moving forward. All right. Catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. And as always, if you like this and it added value to your homesteading journey, like and subscribe and share it with your friends. Bye guys.